Hey, hope you all went off and got another cup of coffee like I did, or another beer, or whatever your tipple is. Okay, so we've done on the last video, we done a quick setup of multiplayer mirror, and I mentioned about the maps and things like that. That was in part two. I'm going to name it, or step two. So this one, I'm not going to do the advanced building place yet. The reason being is that if you haven't got that one, or you're not interested in that one, um, and you just want to go for mobile controls, you'll get an error on one script's missing, or that there's a script that's relying on some other things as part of the advanced building placer, which is absolutely fine. So let's get that started, shall we? I'm going to try and run through this quick because it's like 1:45 in the morning in the UK, and I'm really, really tired. So import custom package. Let's find our mobile controls we've downloaded. If you've bought from the asset store, you obviously load that through your assets. So let's just get that installed. I'm just going to import everything. Right. Okay. And there's our error. So all of that errors is down to one script. Oh, okay. So ignore all those errors. Just go there, find that script. If you do have the Advanced Building Placement Manager system module, install that now, and those errors will go away. If you don't have that, in fact, I could do that now just to prove that point. Yeah, let's do that. Right, open that one. I'll delete it again in a second anyway. And let's go to console, and now we've got no errors. So as I said, those errors if you install the mobile controls first, and you have the advanced building placement module, it's down to one script. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in here anyway. This might break other things, I'm not sure. That one, I don't think it does, but I'm just going to delete that one. And we're back to our same errors about the advanced building placement module. So go to multiplayer, so RTSEngine, modules, mobile controls, scripts, building extension, advanced local mobile faction placement handler. Delete that one. Okay. And once that's done that, okay, so let's go to the demo scenes, demo map. I'll come back to this in a second. We've got our demo map. So if you watch part one, setting up for URP, what's the first thing we're going to notice? Dun, dun, dun. Told you it's late. So it's missing script. We can delete that one. Okay. There's one on cameras as well, if you remember, on the main camera. So we'll delete that one out. Move that one. While we're in cameras, what did we do when we first set that up? Can you remember? Or are you way ahead of me? Main camera UI. Change the base to overlay. Go to main camera. Add main camera UI. Is there anything else we need to do? No? Okay. Let's play it. See what happens. There was not anything else we needed to do, was there? The reason being is all the models and everything of all the materials have been converted to URP to start with. So we've got some warnings. Let's get through these warnings, shall we? really quickly. Yeah, I'll come back to that as well, actually. Let's go build settings. Yeah, right. Okay. I'll come right back to some of these warnings in a second. I'm going to go straight to the top. These warnings are down to a selected platform issue. Okay, so I'm going to come back to those in a minute. First thing, audio source hasn't been assigned. We know that if you watched one of the other ones earlier, go in essential audio, no audio listener assigned. So we need to create one. I create it all under cameras, so let's create an empty one. Music audio source. Right. Oh, I spelled it correct this time. Audio source, audio, doink. Right, that's that one. Now get rid of that. These selection group warnings, they're not errors, they're warnings. They've not been set. Okay. So if you go into module selection groups, so this is basically key binding. So if you want like to select say 3 or 4 units and then you go shift 1, shift 2, and then you can hit number 1 or hit number 2 on your keyboard, that will bring your groups up. On mobile version, that is the boxes down the side on the demo. You can't see my hand movements. I don't know why I'm doing them. So on the right hand side, if I mouse click, I don't know if they will show the clicks. There's some boxes down there. That's those. There's the selection groups. If you go to the first one, so none of them are signed, but if you select it, you can see you've got control selection group 1, selection group 2, selection group 3 on the main demo. And if you follow through, I mean, this is a quick run through. I'm not going through the manual and setting things up with you guys through the manual. This is just a quick overview of stuff on how to get things working. So selection group 1, etc. So I'm a little bit anal about my group 1, 2s and 3s and stuff like that, and element zeros. So for me, I would have that as selection group 1, that one as selection group 2. Now, a lot of things on arrays and lists index from 0, so they start at 0. So in terms of key bindings, if you was doing a desktop, you'd say I would have that as numeric key 0 for that one. So I'll go in and we'll change a couple of these in a second. In fact, we'll set all 5 of these up and we'll do those now. So I'm going to select that one. If I go to project, that would have highlighted, then you can see we've got those there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate. We want 3, don't we? Because we got 0 to 5. So that's actually 6 groups. So I'm going to duplicate 1, 2, 3. Right, first one, I'm going to rename that to 0. Right, second one, rename that to 4. And the last one, 5. Okay. Right, so number 5, we need to change that up here because that's already been assigned. And I want that on alpha key number 5. If it was on the desktop, it will be slot 5 on that little list. So 4, we need to do that with 4, otherwise we'll get errors. And we want that on alpha key 4. And then on 0, we want that to group 0 and alpha key 0. Okay, so I've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on my desktop build. So when I go back to my desktop build screen, I'd set those. I'm going to mention something about that in a minute, but we'll just set these up and finish that off first. So let's go back to selection. And so now we can select group 0, group 1, 2, 3. Sorry, didn't have that one dropped. 3, that one would be 4, and that one would be 5. Right, I'm going to save that, and what other errors are we getting? Keyboards. Oh, these. Right, yeah, I'm going to get onto that in a second. Let's just run this first. And we are not getting any errors or warnings at all. That's just info. So let's select him. Oh, select him. He's in the middle of building something at the moment. Where'd that building go? This is the only issue I have. And this is down to what I'm going to get onto in a second. So there we go. I replaced it, and off he goes and builds, and it's working straight out the back, out the box, whatever way you want to describe it. MobileControls works. So I don't know if you picked up on the fact that I had a little bit of an issue there. I'm going to change this from game to simulator, and I'm also going to change it to a phone, and I'm going to rotate it because you really want it in that mode. Now, now we don't have that issue of placement. Okay, so the problem with that is because we're actually running this on a desktop build and not on an iOS device. And typically some of these mouse gestures, although you can be simulated with mouse clicks and that as touch screen, like you click and drag around and scroll mouse to try and zoom in and that, which doesn't really work. You really need to change a few things. Now, I'm going to pause that or unplay it. With regards to some errors that I've had, they've not been errors as such. What they've been is I've changed platform to Windows and I've built for Windows, and then I've gone to change something or alter something in the editor and then test it. Obviously, as I mentioned on the first video, I'm running on a Mac, so Unity was expecting certain things to be available for a Windows build in the IDE, and it spews up a few errors. If I switch this to iOS and switch platform, it will work a bit better. So if you've got that availability, and you know, to do that, I don't know the IDE looks on Windows, and if you can do that, I don't know. I think you can. I would have thought so, but it's just so if you're testing MobileControls for specific mobile device or Android or something like that, I haven't got that installed with Unity Hub yet. I do have Android installed because I got a couple of apps on the App Store anyway, on Google Play. But yeah, just make sure that if you're testing in the simulator, that you're testing on the relevant platform and you've switched it. But also to remember that when you go back to developing on your main machine, whether it's Windows, Mac, or Linux, that you switch back to that platform, that target platform. Now, if I put this to Intel, right, this machine is an Apple Silicon processor. If I put this to Intel, right, and I leave that there, and I play this, I should, by default, get a load of errors or warnings. Oh, that makes a change. Okay. Didn't this time around. Did last time. Why? Because it's the mobile build. Let's go on the desktop for a minute. Scenes saved. I do this sometimes. I go through something and then I go, oh, hello, why am I doing that? La 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 la. No, I'm getting nothing this time round. Okay, that's cool. Right, but I'm going to prove a point about the switching platforms. I really want to switch to. Okay, I'm going to try. I'm just going to, for giggles. No, I'm not actually going to do that. Trust me, if you've built for Windows and you're running it on a Mac, switch back to Mac before you play in the IDE. All right, that's it. I'm just going to mention it. I'm not going to mess around trying to do it because 15 minutes into it. Okay, so we've seen the demo works fine, right? And I mentioned in the previous video for multiplayer about map names. One thing I am going to mention now also about map names to mobile. Bear with me 2 seconds. If you're developing your game so that you can have player number one plays on Windows, Linux, or Mac desktop, and you want player number two to play on an iOS or Android device, make sure you do all your scene changes, your map changes on your desktop first, or you could do it on, because don't convert from mobile to desktop. We can convert a existing scene from desktop to mobile. Okay, so I'm going to stress it. I can't stress this enough. Just do everything you need to do. Set up your scene, your audio, your sound, game music, your spawn positions, your resources, whatever you're doing, your trees, your environmental, your anything like that. Do all that on your desktop scene first. Save it, then save it as a secondary scene. So I'm not gonna. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do. So what I would do is I'd save this. We've done our changes to whatever we're doing to this scene. I'm not actually going to do that now. I really can't be asked to scroll in and hold on. No, light boxes. Get rid of the fog. Right, there we go. So yeah, once you've done all your changes and what you want to do, then go File, Save As. I'm just going to create a folder for it, so I'm just going to go _mobile. I mean, I have my old projects all set up, and everyone will do their own. And then you go new folder, demo map, and then demo _map. Okay, the same scene name as your desktop scene. Okay, but I'm saving it in a mobile folder, so it's not going to be overriding anything. Now, once you've done that, then you can go up here, go to modules. So you go RTSEngine, modules, MobileControls, configure existing scene. Right, and we now go round, get it round the right way, and you can see our scene now has completely changed to MobileControls. A couple of things you do need to do. Cameras. It didn't, so that's fine. If you do a new scene, obviously, like we did in the first one, your new scene, you're going to have to convert that. Make sure your cameras is in line, but just check your cameras is there. So we've saved this as a mobile scene, and we're now going to run that just to make sure everything works. Remember, we had our save game loader and all that sort of working and stuff. And as you can see, it's working. It's just a bit buggy because it's on the desktop version, which is why that one doesn't show to start with. Now we get it, right? But I can't select and drag it because I'm not in the simulator. I'm in game mode, right? It's not an error with the mobile controls. It's an error because you're not running it in the simulator when you're trying to use mobile controls. Okay, so let's change that to simulator. Right, and then pause that or unplay it. Right, and then play that again. Okay. He's actually gone off building. No, he hasn't. And now I can move it around. And as you can see, that I couldn't move that before when this was stuck in game mode. Okay, so you must put that in the simulator if you're testing mobile controls. Okay, let's go to save games. And we'll do mobile save 1. Okay, and resume. Okay, now if we actually go to the main menu, we'll close that main menu. Yes, we've got our save games, we've got our test save. And why didn't we get our mobile saves, I wonder? Do you know why? Our game manager is the same. It's because it saves it in a different place because this is not the... actually, I don't know why it doesn't save, actually. Oh, I do. No, we've got that there. We didn't set our buttons. So let's set those in. Save input, save button. So you just got to just double check some of the things that you need to update. Okay, but what's the error we got? Oh look, it's a save game handler error. Sorry, it's a bit late. So I've done that. Saved the scene. Let's play that. No, this doesn't happen. You don't have to do this a couple of times when you're doing that. So let's just get him doing that. One of them's doing it. Right, that's great. Do that. Mobile save. Mobile save. Save. Main menu, yes. Save games. As a mobile save. Well, I haven't test save. I haven't actually done that. And you can see how it's loaded it, but it's loaded our other menu. But you typically wouldn't be saving a game like that on a mobile device and then loading it on the desktop. That makes sense. Or maybe you might want to. I don't know. I've just done that, didn't I? Okay, so our mobile controls work. So that's how you set that up. That's pretty much that. Like I say, so we've set our scene up for that, haven't we? So, and we've just created our mobile scene. So we're going to add our mobile scene in. Okay, so when you're now the reason for this, and I mentioned it on the previous video about multiplayer. So when you're going to compile for mobile device, iOS and Android, I'm not sure about the others. I haven't got that far yet. Untick that one, and the demo map will still load from the single player scene. Okay. So I'm just going to show you that. I'm going to show you how that one works. So let's. So we know our mobile map has got the mobile layout, right? And then our single player screen. This might seem a little bit confusing to some people. On our maps, we only have the demo map. So the scene name is demo map. On our build settings, we have our demo scene, obviously our demo scene. So it's going to be whatever you're naming your maps, map 1, map 2, map 3. Demo map, and we have a mobile demo map. So on our single player screen, we have a demo map. So if I play this, and I start game, we won't have the mobile interface. Okay? Now, because it's looking for the demo map, and in the build settings, we've ticked the demo map for the desktop. So now we would do our build, and we'd do it for Windows, Linux, and Macs if you want to go that far. So now we're going to build for iOS and Android. So you want to tick the mobile map so that when you go into your single player, and we know it's demo map, that's all it says, doesn't it? In there, that's all it said was demo map. We'll click start game. We'll see our mobile interface. Oh, there you go.